Hello, everyone. Good evening and welcome to EduTALK. EduTALK is a virtual talk show which happens weekly, created out of the need for a global learning community. And we focus on topics in education that directly impact Caribbean nations and diaspora nationals working across the globe. EduTALK features teachers, principals, business leaders, dignitaries, and a whole lot of people who share their expertise on critical topics facing education today with a common goal of moving education forward and our students upward. I am your host. I'm Dr. Dwayne Dice, and I'm the founder and CEO of Education Solutions International, ESI. Please visit Education Solutions International at edusolutionsintl.org, and you can get information on conferences and workshops and forums, as well as more about EduTalk. On our program this week, we have Ms. Gina Paul. And Ms. Gina just come to find out that she's from Haiti, background Haiti, which is awesome because Haiti is about 90 miles from Jamaica. It's not far, and we share a lot in common as a people. We're not going to get into the revolution and the relationship with Jamaica. As a matter of fact, to drop a hint right here, if it wasn't for Haiti, a lot of people in the Western Hemisphere wouldn't be free. So just so you know, you can go and do your research on that. Haiti plays a pivotal role in our freedom as Black people who came as enslaved people, not the ones who came as freed people, but it also affects them. But anyway, welcome to EduTalk. Gina, good to have you on.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. It is awesome to be on here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, and I'm excited because of the book that the books that you wrote, and I'm thinking that you're still writing and promoting this writing, and it's about people of color, our people from the Caribbean, from African descent, and so on. You know, mix up people in the Caribbean.
Right.
Yeah. What's going through your mind in terms of the books that you have written? Like what's some of the ideas that cause you to focus on writing?
Well, the book that I wrote, which is titled "I Am Not Being Lazy, I Just Don't Understand," started off like 7 years ago, and I kind of sat on it for a while because it was a little bit about my experiences as a kid. Like you said, I'm from Haiti. I left Haiti when I was 10 years old, and I came to the US. And coming into a country where you don't speak the language was very, very challenging for a 10-year-old. Someone like me who's very talkative, who's very friendly, and I feel like I came out the womb that way. I was always talking, always laughing, always making friends, always, joking around, and very, very friendly. And now I'm in a room adults that I don't understand and who don't understand me. And we're talking about, this is the late 80s, early 90s, where Haitians were not very popular back then. So therefore, the Haitian culture or the Haitian language was not very well respected or accepted as they do now, because now we're in the year 2023. So it's a little bit different. However, with my book, I kind of sat on it because as a teacher, I'm also a teacher by trade. So I'm
Right.
always looking for books that will really help my children or even help my nieces and nephews. And it's hard to find a book that talks about what my experiences were as someone from Haiti who is of African descent and who does speak a different language, and finding pictures for children or books for children with my face or my complexion on the cover. So, I mean, now you're seeing it more now because more people are bringing books out that has, children, that has children that looks like me on there. But before, it was really very difficult to find. So if I sat on that book for so long, because I sat on the story for a very long time.
Yeah.
I remember being in the fifth, and on the board, I was told anything that was written on the right side was what I had to do now. Anything that was written on the on the left side now, on the right side was for homework. I would write down what was on the left side, but I still didn't understand it because I couldn't read it. So it was still very, very hard because no one in the classroom spoke English. And as time progresses, and of course, I wasn't picking up English as fast as I could because of the fact that no one in the class spoke English, including the teacher. She was white Jewish. She tried. However, it was very challenging. And I remember sitting there feeling like I was in an island by myself because no one was wanting to talk to me. No one was trying to befriend me because they thought I dressed funny, my hair looked funny, I smelled funny. And you always know when people are talking about you and it's not favorable because of the pointing. And of course, children are going to be children. They have a lot of that pointing and clicking. And so it was really very, very challenging for me. And I remember, and then I became a teacher and
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this hasn't really changed that much, since I was a student until now. There's still um, that same story, the same narrative is still playing out now that it played out in the 80s and in the 90s. And I'm like, I need to create something to really help children to be more empathetic and sympathetic towards children and to understand just because that I or someone else speaks a different language, that
Yeah.
doesn't mean they're lazy. That doesn't mean they're stupid. That doesn't mean they're dumb just because they're not picking up English fast enough according to other people's views or what they would like for people to, how they would like people to pick up things. So nonetheless, after creating the book, I was very scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder how it's going to be received. Because when I spoke to the illustrators and the editors, who, by the way, DG Self Publishing is an amazing illustrator. They're Black owned, and I would recommend anyone to them.
Yeah.
The Donnie and Shamira Hill, who are the founders, are amazing couple to work with. They're on time, they play no game. So I really enjoyed my time working with them. And we went back and forth for a very long time because I wanted when people look at the cover of the book, the illustrations inside of the book, those children will see themselves.
Yes.
Those children will say, oh, this could be me. This could be my experience. This could be what I've been through. I remember sitting in the classroom and hearing the word lazy. And this is where the title of the book comes in. I am not being lazy. I just don't understand. I remember hearing them pointing, even the teachers pointing, say lazy. And I'm like, what does lazy? I remember going home and like, what does lazy mean? And
Mhm.
they had to explain to me what lazy meant. And I was like, I'm not a lazy person.
Yeah.
I want to work. I want to make friends. I want to do this. I want to do that. But I'm unable to because I just don't understand the language.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
just don't understand what I need. If someone could sit next to me and explain to me in my language what needs to get done, I
Yeah.
will do it. But I need someone to explain it to me. So this is kind of where um, the book idea come out of, is my own experiences and how now as a teacher, I'm still seeing it in some of the schools. I'm still seeing it, like where I'm listening to like my nieces and my nephews talk about their experiences in school. I mean, they were born here, but
Yeah.
to hear about their friends and how, oh, this person just came from whichever country. So right now, it doesn't even matter in terms of which country you're from, but you speak a different language. So
Yeah.
automatically it's like something, oh, no,
Yeah.
I don't want to be friends with you because you don't understand me. I
I,
don't understand you.
Gina, I saw that because I've not been anything else other than a teacher too. And I'm seeing it from Florida, from in DC and in New York City. I'm seeing it where if you're from a different culture or a different country, then it seems like something is wrong with you because they don't understand the word. And
Right.
that's not true. If they explain it in Spanish or French Creole or some Latin or something that you speak, you will understand it perfectly well or even
Exactly.
better than the people who speak English.
Right.
Yeah. What exactly what exactly do you want to convey in these books that you're, because I want you to show the other books that you have written too. So
Oh,
this is
well,
this
it's the same. It's the same one, but I translated it in two other languages.
okay.
This is the original, the English version,
Uh-huh.
and then I translated it into Haitian Creole,
Mm-hmm.
and then also into Spanish. So just the color of the covers change so you know which one that it is. So this is the Spanish, this is the Haitian Creole, and this is the English one.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put
But I
up
am working
here
on the
before
second
we
book
go
though.
on. Yeah. Let me put up, where can people get that book to buy?
Oh, it's in many places. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Target online, Walmart online, Ingram Sparks. If you're from a school or a library or any big chain that purchase in bulk, you can get it from Ingram Sparks. All three of them are there.
Mm.
And it's in the libraries in New York City. If you're in New York City, a lot of the libraries actually have at least the English version. I'm working on trying to get the Creole and the Spanish version on there as well.
Yeah, that's very good. All right, tell us about the other ones. So is this the first one you have written?
That's the first one I have written. I'm working on the second one right now. I do have a couple other ones that I have not yet published, so I'm
Okay.
working on them right now, and publishing them. It's not within the same theme as this book, but the second one is within the same theme as this book. However, the others are not. They're more for like the younger kids because I do teach special education,
Yeah.
and I do teach early learners. So I'm trying to get books that's also more geared towards them because this book is geared towards children from second grade to maybe about sixth grade. It depends on your reading level. And if you just want to read something you want to enjoy as well, or there's a lesson that you want to teach the children, and that is very easily read for second to sixth graders.
Yeah. Okay. So now, so you show off the books. Let's talk a little bit about you. You know, you, the author.
Right.
What inspired you since you were younger growing up, you know, and something must have triggered in you saying, hey, probably I could write a book, maybe not, or so on, or a teacher might talk to you positively, because I know people would say, my
Right.
teacher said I should do this, but I did it and I became successful, you know. But on the other side, you have some teachers who actually motivate students towards
Right.
it. So parents, mothers, and so on, who inspired you towards this?
When both my parents have passed on, my mom was a woman that was very determined. And I remember having a conversation with her about, oh, I have a book that I'm starting to write. And she's like, well, if you start something, I know it's going to be done. I know you're going to finish it. So that actually kind of put like a bug in my ear. So like, okay, you start something, got to finish it. So it was almost like multiple things within my life. I had a teacher in high school who she was an English teacher, and to be honest, I don't even remember her name anymore. But I just remember being in her class and we had to write, it wasn't poetry, but we had to write a piece of work. It didn't matter what we write it on, but just write a piece of work for the class as a final project. And what I wrote was actually selected to go on the book that she creates yearly that she give out to the students. And I was really excited about that. And all of those things were on my mind. But most importantly, it was my determination that the story that I lived, I wanted other children to see and understand and learn from. That was another thing that was a huge motivator for me.
Oh, wow, that's good. So it's a few people
Yeah.
touch your life. When did the writing start though?
It started about, I would say 2013, 2014. So I would write a chapter or two and then I would just put it away.
Yeah,
And then I would go back to it maybe a few months later and I would change some things and I would write another chapter and I would put away.
yeah,
And it was not until during the pandemic in
yeah,
2020,
yeah,
as a teacher, I'm sure yourself, everyone was remote.
yeah.
So it gave me some time where, I didn't have to travel because everything I was at home.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? This is a great opportunity for you to finish this book. So I finished the book and I had a girlfriend of mine who is also an author, but she does her books on like natural hair and so forth. So she was a huge influence on, you know what? The time is now. Don't waste time. Time is now. If you want to publish, make it now. So I reached out to her. I'm like, well, I want to find an editor and a illustrator, and this is my story. What can I do? So then she was able to get me in touch with DG Self Publishing, and for me to self publish my book. And that's kind of how the publishing side of it came through.
Yeah, so folks, Gina is also, well, separate and apart from being an author, she's an educator. She's also a vlogger. Um,
Yes.
tell us a little bit about the vlogging.
I it's kind of a little bit connected to culture.
Yeah.
I love traveling. I've visited 22 different countries.
Mm.
I visit all over the states. I love traveling. I love learning about culture. I love hearing different languages from the source. I love just getting on the plane with a passport and just going about a different country. It's like every year, if I can just travel for the rest of my life, just traveling from country to country to country and just learning about different cultures, learning about people. I just love people. I
Yeah.
love the different shades of people. To
Yeah.
me, it's like if they could put all the people together, it will look like a bouquet of flowers.
Yes.
Like all the different shades, all the different colors of people literally look like a bouquet of flowers. So I always love to see that. So that was a huge thing for me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and you document all of that? Where do you document it? Where do you
It's on
document?
it's on traveling.sister on YouTube.
Okay, Traveling
Yes.
Hot Sister on
Yes,
YouTube.
on YouTube.
That's really cool. That's good. I'm gonna have to subscribe to that. Traveling dot
Yes.
sister on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay, so being from the Caribbean, we Caribbean people are very, very proactive in terms of getting ourselves out there and working hard.
Right.
Even though some people might say, "Oh, they're from the Caribbean, they're lazy, they don't want to do anything," and that's not true. That's a very negative picture they paint
Right.
about Caribbean people. If we look at America, there are more Caribbean people who have made tremendous contribution to the development of America, and this is
Right.
the US, the United States, even more so than if you're looking at per capita, the people who were born here or came from Europe over here
Right.
more. Yes, starting with some of the the framers of the Constitution, like Hamilton. Hamilton people are from the Eastern Caribbean, and so on. Chisholm, um, the other one I can't remember now, from Trinidad. So we have quite a bit, and not to mention Marcus Garvey. So on.
Right.
So yes, the drive that I see you have in doing this is really cool, along with the other things that you're doing.
Right.
And I mentioned earlier that you're an educator. You mentioned it too. So we talk about vlogging and so on, and you love travel. I love traveling too with the food. I love the culture and the food.
Yes.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yes.
What exactly? You mentioned that you are a special ed teacher and so on. Tell us a little bit about your work. You don't have to mention the school.
Of
Give us a
course.
bit about your work.
Right. I work with children who are on the spectrum. This year I'm teaching pre-K. I have taught from pre-K all the way to third grade.
Yeah.
I've been teaching now for about 8 years, but before that I worked for about 4.5 years as a paraprofessional, which is a teacher's assistant.
Oh,
Um, all my children are pretty much on the spectrum. The pre-Ks are not yet, have not gone through the process yet. So they're still learning and did not have yet assessed them to that point of saying, oh, this one has autism or learning disability or whatnot. They haven't really gotten there yet. But most of the children I work with has language delays. There's a lot of delays, like educationally and mentally, emotionally,
yeah,
socially. They're all very much delayed. However, I thrive in that environment because I love these children. When I see how something that people thought this child would never pick up. Oh, I've had this child for so many years. This child is just can't seem to learn this. And
mhm,
then I'm working with, and I love the team that I'm normally with, the speech
yeah,
therapists, occupational therapists, the counselors, the paras, and just everyone putting their hands in there and creating this circle of support for these children and
yeah,
seeing them thrive and seeing them learning their alphabets, learning their colors, learning their numbers, potty training.
yeah,
And it might seem like potty training. That's a little, they go. it's not easy for a child who has a lot of delays, where there could be 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, and they're still in pull-ups.
Mhm.
So therefore, when I see them making those small progress, to me, it's a huge success for them. So we celebrate that. We, I would text the parents like, oh, so and so did this today, it was so amazing, and I'll send them videos of their children, the changes that they're happening. I know sometimes the parents are so happy to see it. They're like, oh my God, thank you so much, and it gives me a sense of pride in knowing that I'm making a difference in these children's lives. And it's not just the children, but their families. I intentionally went into what they call a Title I school, which
I
is
know
a
that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So therefore, I intentionally went to a Title I school because I know that's where the need is at, and
Mhm.
especially for children of color.
Yeah.
Majority of our kids are children of color. Where I work at, the whole area is mostly of people of color. Because of gentrification, you're getting a lot more of people like white and so forth, European background. However, it's still majority Black and Hispanics.
Yeah.
And now we're also getting a lot of Middle Eastern people as well.
Okay.
But it is, to me, like in my class, like one year I had 2 Asians, we had one Middle Eastern, and 3 Blacks, but of different background: Jamaican, Haitian, and African American. And
Mhm.
that was one of my favorites class because I love talking to the parents who have different backgrounds and having it in the classroom because I enjoyed the culture. I remember teaching about we had Black History Month,
Yeah.
and I took that opportunity to make to bring different food or different little treats that I'm like, try this, try that from this country and that
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
And I just love, to me, that just excites me when
Yeah.
I see the different cultures coming together, and you're talking to the parents, and parents are like, I don't really speak English. I'm like, I don't care. Let's get an
Yeah.
interpreter.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this together. We're supposed to be doing this together. So it doesn't matter if you can speak English or not. You need to advocate for your child. You need to, whatever it is you need to do to get your child what they need to be in life, then you need to do it. We will work at this together. So I tried my best to make my parents, the families, feel very comfortable with
Mhm.
me, with my class,
Yeah.
and with anyone else who has anything to do with my students. Because my students, for those 6 hours and 50 minutes we have them, they're
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
therefore, I want them to be treated a certain way, and I'm the same way with their families. I text, I'm like, call me, text me, email me, smoke signal me, whatever you need to do to
That.
make sure that, that we have that bridge, that home and school bridge connected somehow so that we can do whatever we can do for these children, and let's do it. So
Yeah.
to me, it's like, that is very important to me. And
Yeah.
I do know parents who have children with disability, who are friends of mine, and I love their children. So that even put that even more on my heart to support them and help them and encourage them and teach them and cultivate that in them. And I have parents who said, well, at home we only speak Spanish, or at home we only speak Arabic, or at home. I was like, okay, that's okay. They go to school and their school is in English. They will learn English. Don't worry. Keep your culture as well. Keep your
Exactly.
language. Keep
Exactly.
you, like, anything you could think of. Keep that. That is you. That is part of their DNA. That's part of their culture. You need to keep that. Don't worry about them learning English. They
Yeah.
will.
They will. Yes, I totally agree with that. Um, Speaking of culture and passing on that culture, well, how is your connection with Haiti?
I still have tons of family in Haiti. I still have tons of family in Haiti, aunts and cousins, and friends of the family, people that are very close to me, like first cousins. I have aunts and uncles who are still alive, who are still in Haiti. I have family members who are constantly going back and forth to Haiti. I haven't been back in a very long time because every time I was set out to go, something always happens, and my family like, this is not the best time, so let's wait. And so it's been a waiting game for a very long time. And now with everything that's going on right now, it's just obviously not the best of time to go right now, unfortunately, which is huge, unfortunate.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of that connection. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, I think it was called Voice of America, which
Mhm.
is a global radio station that's based in Haiti, and that I actually did interview with as well, which
Cool.
was also very, very cool. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
It's hard because knowing that um, what I'm doing here, people in Haiti are listening to. And so
Yeah.
it was that part. I was like, oh my God, did you like family member calling you? I heard you. I
Yeah.
heard you. And I was like, what? Just so excited.
Yes, I'm sure they're gonna watch this and thinking, "Oh my God, there she is again."
Yes,
Um,
yes.
apart from your family, do you have any connection with school systems there that you reach out to and give them some form of like, not full blown PDs, but you reach out and see how best you can help, especially that you're skilled in learning disability and students with autism and so on. Do you have that type of connection?
That is a connection that I've been wanting to create for quite some time now. The difficulties is having a school and finding the right connection. That's actually where the challenging part is finding the right connection. Knowing, because I want to make sure wherever that I connect, or whomever I connect with, that what I have to give, that is a need. That
Yeah,
is not something that somebody just, oh, you know what, let's do a connection. No, I want to make sure whatever it is that is a need for my skills, or there's a need for whatever it is that I'm able to do for you. That is a way for us to work together to create whatever it is that we need to create for it to work for the children, for it to work for the families. I've always wanted to do a fundraiser where I can, you know, raise money for the different schools, because I'm not sure if you know what, I'm not sure how it is in Jamaica, but in Haiti, majority of the schools are private schools.
yes, yes,
And that's the reason why it is it's a very hard pill to swallow when you see so many people in Haiti who are not well educated or educated at all.
yeah,
Because of lack of money. It's not because they don't want to be educated. It's not because, like the word lazy, it's not because they're lazy. It's for lack of funds.
yeah.
So I feel like if we can find the right connection to do that, I would love to be able to do that. But I do have lots of reservation, lots of fears in finding the right connection. That's always a thing for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand that fully well too, and that's some of the things that we struggle with too. When you look at the Caribbean region or
Right,
anywhere, even in the U.S. too, you're wondering if your money is going to the
right,
actual people, especially people of
right.
color. You wonder
Yes,
if it's going through to them, or somebody's taking their money
right.
for
And
them.
that's always a hardship for me, because I want to make sure if I raise money, especially someone else's money, I'm like, sure, let me, thank you for the money, and now let me send the money. And then
Yeah,
come to find out it's not being used properly. That's
right.
disheartening.
Yeah. So yeah, it is very hard. We all struggle with it. What's in terms of your writing, okay, so we talk about your background and so on, and concerns and connections.
Right,
Uh, the themes in your writing, do you have these themes of like kids with concerns and
right,
family
right,
trying to get there? Because you're gonna be publishing books in
right,
future too,
right.
ongoing. What are some of the themes you're thinking of?
Basically, love, care, empathy, sympathy towards others. To know that, you know what, we don't have to speak the same language or
Yeah,
have the exact same culture to love each other. Because I don't really like the word just acceptance, because you can accept somebody but you don't really like them. Like, you know what, I accept you, whatever, and it's whatever. But to really love and like someone is very different. I like, for example, in my book I talked about my experience with other children, where I try approaching kids a certain way, and I was just not, it was not reciprocated. And it was hard, because here I am, I'm trying my best to make friends, I'm trying my best to start a conversation, and it was just not happening. And I want children to understand that just because a child look differently than you, or even a child wear hijab, or a child who's like lighter than you or much darker than you,
mhm,
those are still people.
yeah,
They're still children just like you. You might have a child that's extremely shy, or you might have a child that seems to be super outgoing but have very, very low self-esteem. There's so many different scenarios, and I want them to understand that, you know what, you guys have to learn how to help each other. You have to learn how to support each other. We as adults have to learn how to teach children how to support each other.
Mhm.
It's not an innate ability where it's like, oh, the children's just going to learn how to do it. No, it's not. We have to teach them that from young, and
Yeah,
it starts in the home.
yeah,
It
yeah.
starts with the family, because a lot people don't realize this. What As a teacher, and I'm sure you've noticed this as a teacher as well,
Mhm.
we as teachers will know a lot that is going on in the home based on the children,
Yep.
on how they behave, on the things that they say, on the things that they do. A
Yeah,
lot of the times parents don't realize, yes, we might not say much about it, but
yeah.
we do. So therefore, if you're not a very sympathetic person, and you treat your child that way, or you treat people around you that way, guess what? Your children are not going to learn to be sympathetic. They're
Exactly.
not going to learn to be empathetic. They're not going to learn to love and care about other people, or
Yeah.
learn to support other children, because to them it's a no-no topic. Like, why should I? Because they're gonna have the same attitude as you. The whole attitude of do as I say, not as I do. That's a
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Because if you want the child, because as a teacher, we have learned to model. You model what you want your children to do. So
Yes.
therefore, in speech, in action, you model that, and
Mhm.
in hopes that your children would t- take it, process it, and then act on it.
Yes, I am right there with you. You're saying, I'm hoping people are listening to this and actually put it into action because it works. You
Yes.
What I used to say to parents too is, or even when we have our talks, if you don't want something to reproduce in your kids, stop reproducing it. Stop doing it
Yes.
over and over again. Just stop
Yes.
it. And the thing too with you can't love your kids and spoil them, because that's not parental love. Parental love is seeing your kids as an extension of you, and you don't want this kid to fall trap to the society that they're in. So you pour responsibility, accountability, and responsiveness in them.
Right.
And sometimes they mention it as tough love, but
Right.
it's just love. It's just parental love that you need for them. Do you have something like this, like the theme for parents in your, are you thinking about this? Because I know the book is like kids can read the book, but do you have something like this for parents that they
Um,
can get
I
to?
do. I've had adults actually read my book, and they actually have talk about how much it inspired them.
Yeah,
I actually had a teacher in a school in Florida.
yeah,
Like I said, my book is written for lower grades, early childhood and elementary level.
yeah,
This teacher, she teaches high school. And a girlfriend of mine, who actually is a teacher at that same school, was just randomly talking about my book and say, "Oh, this is a really great book." Kind of like giving out words for me about my book. And so she picked up a copy and she read it for herself. And she said, "Oh my gosh," because she's an ENL teacher. She's like, "I could use this in my classroom."
yeah.
So her students were high school level between 14 and 17, or I think 14 and 18 in her class. But they had just came from they were just came from the country, maybe up to about 2 years. Normally from just came to about 2 years. And the way she used the book was very unique. I had an opportunity to do like a Zoom meeting, connect with the children and talk with them and ask them questions. They asked me questions. They read some of what they wrote. So she had them read the book and then pretty much wrote their story.
Mhm.
And the way they did it was that they wrote about what they felt, how they felt when they first came to America, or
Mhm.
in that and as they are now, because they're pretty much new to the country. So she says she learned so much about the students. She learned so much about her class based on what they wrote. Because she was like, I would have never known some of these things, some of what they have gone through before they even came to America,
Yeah,
shape which shape their way they think, which shape the way they act, which shape the way they speak, which shapes so much about their lives. She's like, I would have never known that if I did not you decide to use that book as a theme, have them read it, and then have them write their own version of their book about their lives. So that was really like an amazing experience as well, to see how the book is, although it's not their their age or grade level, but it's still being utilized for older grades.
Yes,
And I
yes,
know parents could also utilize the book as a way to, almost like a stepping stone to talking to their children, conversing with their children about their behavior towards their peers who
mhm,
are coming from a foreign country. So
yeah,
to me, although it is written is geared towards children, adults can use it as stepping stones to helping their own children.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. Yes. Because it's about themes. It's not about,
Right.
yes, it's simple and so on, but what you can bring out of students
Right.
or people in general based on what they're hearing and seeing. It can help us to build community. It's
Yes.
basically can help us to build community. We're gonna close off, because of the time. But
Right.
I want, yeah, one last thing I wanted to share is the fact, like, what inspiration can you give to kids out there? Because we're living in volatile time right
Yes.
now. Things are happening around us that our kids are seeing. They can access anything on social media.
Yes.
They can read anything, they can view anything. Um, so what are some of the things that you're seeing and you can give inspiration to
Of
even
course.
the kids and their parents?
Of course.
Mhm.
One and very important thing for me that I'm learning now that I'm trying to instill in my students and in my own nieces and nephews, kids in my own family, is that different does not mean wrong. We might not be of the same color or be of the same gender or be of the same be the same culture or language. That doesn't mean this person is wrong, that person is right, or this person is right, that person is wrong. Different doesn't mean wrong. And also, just because I disagree with you
Yeah,
doesn't mean I hate you. Because I think sometimes people think that is one is synonymous to the other, which is not. Just because I might not agree with you on a topic doesn't mean I hate you. It's
yeah,
like we just don't agree on something. But that doesn't mean all of a sudden you should fear me or I should fear you, or you should hate me or I should hate you because we don't agree on something. Yes, sometimes we do have very strong opinions about something, or we or very strong beliefs about things, and that's okay. As a matter of fact, if all of us believe in the same thing, if all of us believe trust in the same things, if all of us had everything, we'd be like robots.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what makes the world so beautiful, is the fact that we can have difference of opinion, we can have difference of culture, to see the beauty in culture, whether it is Caribbean culture or even the European culture or African culture, the Hispanic culture, whatever it is, to see the different dances. Like I say, I have traveled in 22 different countries. So when I go to those countries, I always said, okay, I need to go where the real people are, not
yeah,
just where tourists are. I need to immerse myself in the culture itself. I want to see the people, not just what they're showing me to be of that culture. No, I want to know. I want to go to a place where this great grandma that's 102 years old is making her craft, or
yeah,
this woman that's been doing whatever is the one cooking that food. I want to
yeah,
taste her
yeah,
cooking. I
yes,
want to buy her art,
yes,
because this to me is what that culture is about. It doesn't matter to me of
yeah,
I don't want to just sit around like, oh, yes, I want to stay in a big resort, all inclusive, eating my food, drinking my drink. But I really want to immerse myself into the culture. So to me, I would let kids and adults and all of them know, learn to travel,
yeah,
learn to love and appreciate different cultures, learn to understand where someone else is coming from, even if you disagree. But still learn to understand. Okay, I understand what you come from. I might not agree with your point of view, but I understand where you're coming from. And understanding doesn't mean I agree with you.
yeah,
It doesn't mean I get what you're trying to say. I might not agree with it, but I get what you're trying to say. So to me, I think having that mindset is very important. It will be so amazing to me just to see how much it will bring people together if parents and guardians and whomever that's in charge of these kids will really instill that in them. To, hey, listen, just because this child walk weird, that you in your mind, so what? Okay, this child is in a wheelchair. Okay, befriend that child.
mhm,
That's still a child. That's still a human being. Okay, this person is not reading at your level. that's okay. Befriend that child. Maybe there might be something you can teach the child. There might
Yeah.
be something you can learn from that child. Just because that child is not at quote unquote what you assume is your level doesn't mean you can't learn from that child.
True, true. Very true. So Gina Paul, Miss Gina Paul, the author, the vlogger, and the educator. And also, speaking of author, the author of I Am Not Being Lazy, I Just Don't Understand. You can give us your contact information, like the website that they can access to look at other writing from you, and this book as well.
Yes, because you can find me on almost, except for TikTok, I am almost on every other
Social
social media platform. And it's
media.
a Gina.Paul, that author. You can find, just look up Gina Paul and you will find me. I
Yeah.
am on Instagram, on Facebook, I am on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's
So
where
you
I found you.
so you will find me on those platforms. I do also have my website that's of the same name, authorginapaul.com. You will find me there as well. So anywhere, just Google my name and trust me, you will find me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
will.
Thank you so much for coming on EduTalk. We have a lot more to do in the near future. So
Yes.
yeah, the future is bright. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on as well. I hope you enjoyed this. This has been EduTalk. If you need further information about EduTalk, please visit us at edusolutionsintl.org or educationsolutionsinternational.org. Visit us. If you want to write to us, you can write to us at admin@educationsolutionsinternational.org, or you can write to us at our Gmail at edusolutionsintl@gmail.com. Please walk good, everybody. Enjoy the week, and we will see you next week with another edition. This has been very, very good. Thank you, Miss Gina, for being on. And thank you, everybody. See you next time, next week. Please be well. Be well and go create some communities among all of you. Creating communities.